Corpser.
Okay. Hello, I am the Corpser. Not to be mixed with Corpser. I'm Corpser. And I'm joking. Also known as Corpser or Corpsey Warpsy or
just
etc. I'm showing a really cool category that's called GSR, Ganondorf Source Requirement, with the awesome commentary of Big Salt 64 and Claire Lindy.
Howdy.
How's it going?
Howdy. Yo.
I hope you guys are excited for the most amazing category in this game.
The most
I
hype.
sure am. Okay, so this is gonna be kind of chaotic because these two people are not super hyped about the category I'm running.
Hyped.
But,
What are you talking about?
Okay, it's just an impression I get. So we had an incentive for this run that it's a name choose, right? And someone won. Oh, I'm hearing that the audio is laggy. Let me check if I can fix it. Is it still super laggy? Okay, it's fine. Yeah.
Angry demon noises is telling us that we're good. I don't know if I trust somebody with that name.
It's probably fine. It's probably fine.
Okay, so I was told that the name that won was CFG Smog.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's like there's no last time donations, right? There is no last time.
I think it's probably fine.
Okay. Okay, so apparently it won CFG Smog, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Let's talk to Smog. I think it's like this, right?
I'll tell you what, it better populate the emote after you type in that file name.
Okay, I'm seeing it like this.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
Yes, Muck.
Okay, so time starts after I press A on this dialog. So I'm gonna press A in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, Corpser. So tell us a little bit about this category.
Okay, this awesome category, it's about getting a bunch of items to go and kill Ganondorf. You know, a very popular category for this game that was like parallel, you know, to, for example, in Mario 64, that is 16 stars, you know, that you just get the basics to win the game without being it too short, is defeat Ganon. For example, in that category, we don't face Ganondorf like never. We just go straight up to Ganon, right? In this category, like the idea is to face Ganondorf and then Ganon. But to face Ganondorf, we need a lot of items, and we need to get them from source. We're not gonna do any shenanigans with the items or spawn them in our inventory. So those items are like Zelda's Lullaby, for example, bombs, choose, the bow, and such. We cannot do some glitches like RBA, get item manipulation, and those, because those are like allow us to get items without the source, you know. So that's why the category is called Ganondorf Source Requirement.
Yeah, I'm looking at the rules right now. It looks like you have to defeat Ganondorf, You have to get
Yep.
light arrows.
Yep.
You have to collect shadow and spirit medallion.
Yeah, those are needed to get the light arrows from source.
Right. And then magic, Zelda's Lullaby, and Quiver 30. So you'd have to get the legit quiver from the Forest Temple, right?
Oh no,
Yes.
Navi bonked. Yeah.
So this category bans a lot of the major glitches like reverse bottle adventure, get item manipulation, stale reference manipulation, all the things that like really allow you to get items from their unintended source. It also bans wrong warps because that's just part of the rules of the category. This is kind of a legacy category in a way. It's more of like a preserved route of the game that allows you to still do a lot of the like big glitches, but not the biggest glitches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this category is suggested a lot for new runners. I think it's more difficult now since implementing a couple of new tricks, which hopefully we'll see Corpser do in this run. But in the past, and by in the past I mean like several months ago, it was it was pretty easy. You could almost always finish your run. That you're never gonna like get so stuck that you can't continue. It's a mid-length kind of run. It's like an hour and change long. So and it also does a lot of things that other categories have you do, like going into Spirit, going into Shadow Temple, going into Forest Temple, doing certain movement and tricks that are useful for other categories as well.
Right, so right now he needs to collect the sword and shield. He needs both of those items to do a trick a little bit later. And also he's going to want to get the ocarina. So he's going to do some pretty cool little movement in the forest to gather 40 rupees as fast as possible so he can buy the shield. And then you might think after you get the sword and shield, well, you're supposed to go to Deku Tree after that. I'm sorry to say, you will not be seeing the Deku Tree in this run at all. I know that a lot of people, the Deku Tree is their favorite dungeon. We all love the million Navi texts that are in there that go as slow as possible. We're going to be skipping all of that.
Yo,
In
I
fact,
love those.
Salt said earlier that we need to collect the Shadow and Spirit Medallion so we can get the light arrows. The light arrows are the one requirement of this category. That and magic and a bow from Source. So the only dungeons we actually need to beat are Shadow and Spirit. We are not going to beat any dungeons as Child. And how that is possible will become clear soon. But right now, all we're doing is just trying to get the game started.
This is a little surprise.
I'm sure most
tool
people
that will help us later.
I'm sure a lot of people these days know a lot of OOT glitches, but I mean, somebody in chat is liable to not know that you don't have to beat the Child dungeons.
Yeah, we're gonna try to explain a lot of the tricks because this game is very, very broken. So, like, as someone that it's first time watching this type of runs, you probably said, "Oh my God, this little link just clipped into another living being." Yes, we just did. It was kind of disturbing, but it's necessary to escape the forest without getting the emerald.
It's just slow to get it, you know? I mean, even though that emerald cutscene is really a work of art and probably the best part of the game. we don't need it for anything, so why would we do it, right?
Yeah,
We didn't want to kill the Deku Tree also.
Right.
Yeah,
we want our boy to stay alive.
Yeah, he's gonna be alive in this run.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
getting the ocarina here is not actually strictly necessary. Corpser is getting it because it's pretty helpful for some stuff later on. But, I mean, literally everything in this game is a suggestion. Nothing is really necessary. Even major items like, the thing that allows you to play songs are not really necessary.
Right.
As I said, this game is broken, so we can work around almost almost anything that you can probably think is probably possible.
Yeah, a lot of you guys probably know about the bingo tournament that's going on. The whole concept of there being goals that you can get in any order and several goals that have no like bearing on the how the run is intended to be done is, I think, proof positive that this game is pretty opened up right now. You can do pretty much anything at any point in a run. It's actually more
Can I get
rare
a
that
bingo?
not for me.
Can I get a let's bingo in the chat? We have that emote.
So for people who don't know what bingo is, do you want to explain maybe what that is?
Yeah, Salty is a very enthusiast in the bingo community.
I'm sure that at least somebody in the chat does not know what Ocarina of Time bingo is, or that there was a bingo tournament.
Well, okay, so that's fair. So the idea behind bingo is it's the same as old people bingo in that old people run it. No, it's the same as regular bingo, where you have a board, right? And there are different goals on it, like collect 30 skulls, or get all of the tunics, or get the Hylian shield, or whatever. And the idea is you have to collect all of those things to get a row. There's also like blackout, where you have to do all the goals on the board, or there's like exploration, where the goals only become active when you finish one of them, and then the ones adjacent become visible. But the basic idea is you do all the things that are in the row, and then when you finish that row, then that's the end of your bingo. But the point I was trying to make about bingo existing and it being indicative of the game being very broken is that obviously you don't have to do things in the order that the game intends if you can just like have a board of things that are possible to do and just do them whenever, right? So, and there's a bingo tournament going on, and it is being streamed on OOTV. If you're interested in watching it and seeing some of the cool stuff that they do, you can hop in on the Discord. You can check out OOTV and follow that channel for the bingo updates and other stuff.
So, Corpser, why are we gathering chickens right now? That kind
Because
of,
it's
I kind
cool.
of feel like getting this bottle. It can't be very fast. I mean, we're kind of wasting a lot of time doing this.
Yeah, probably. But like that with bottles we can get fairies, and those can revive us.
That's true.
Oh, true, yeah.
Having
Good
fairies is
safety
pretty
measure.
nice.
It's very nice to be revived, but also it's very nice to exploit that extra life to make a trick, a glitch that it's going to take us places, but that we will be dead after doing said glitch.
Wow, so cryptic.
I wonder what that's all about.
Yeah, there are some shenanigans going on. That's mostly what we're gonna do, and that trick that is gonna take us places, well, it's faster than getting the bottle. Like
Right.
You save more time getting this bottle and doing those glitches. Also, we just entered the well.
Yeah, so Corpser did what was known as a cutscene dive right there. During cutscenes, characters tend to not really function as intended, and water is an actor. Actors are just things that basically are not static in this game, so like not walls and ceilings and shit like that. Oh, my bad. And so if he's in a cutscene and he's falling into water, the water won't actually work. So
Right.
he can just fall all the way down to the bottom and get into the bottom of the well early. This is usually a place you're not supposed to be until like the very end of the game. But we're here for one very specific purpose. We're not going to get the Lens of Truth. We will be crossing the wasteland, but we're not going to get the Lens of Truth.
Wait a minute. We're gonna cross the wasteland without the Lens of Truth?
If you can believe that it's possible.
I just don't
Yes.
believe it.
I guess we'll see how he takes care of that.
So speaking of cutscene dives, right now he's going to be doing something sort of similar. The Navi text interrupting the water from showing up so that he can get to the bottom of the well is one form of cutscene dive. Right now he's going to get a hover off of this bubble, which should be called the skull. Don't at me. And then pulling the ocarina. And what this does is it stops the basement from loading, right? Because the game thinks that Link should just be in a static position rather than falling. And this means that certain collision is unloaded and certain actors don't show up. And the benefit of this is that he can actually get into this like invisible water shaft right here and float upwards and then clip through a small like area in the ground. And from this water shaft, he can, if he gets this clip, he can jump slash right here. And then this will get him the Bombchu chest.
Right.
That wouldn't be possible without unloading the basement like that.
Actually, a lot of stuff has happened in the past, like, 5 minutes that
True.
kind of needs to be explained. One, he backflipped and shielded that Skulltula, and you saw that he's stuck in midair.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's known as hovering. If you get a glitch called the Infinite Sword glitch, one of the properties of your sword swinging is that you won't fall off of ledges. So, if your sword is always swinging, that allows you to stick in the air if you shield damage sources. Why it works like that, I don't 100% know, but basically, if you do those two things, you can get a hover over that invisible hole, and then Corpser did another cutscene dive, like Salt said, and it did not let the loading plane for the basements actually do its job. So Corpser ended up in the unloaded basement, and he went into that water, that out-of-bounds water. Well, it's not really out of bounds, but a property of water in this game is that it actually extends infinitely downwards. Mm-hmm. So that was actually like the puddles at the top. That water just goes all the way down to infinity. So he can swim back up through the water, clip through the ceiling, and then get the Bombchus. And the Bombchus are going to be really helpful for a lot of stuff early on in the game. Getting explosives this early in the game tends to break a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, explosives after the bottle are probably one of the most broken items in the game.
Explosives can basically be seen as like glitch fuel.
Yeah, basically,
because
yes.
They're basically a mobile damage source that can be manipulated in any way that you want. And damage sources in this game are like the key to so many glitches.
True. Safari Nation basically just summed it all up. Water is an actor, and it's really tall. Perfect.
Yes.
I'm glad you guys have been paying attention. So I'm sure people saw also that Corpser kind of got past the owl without talking to it. That is one of the ways that the owl works is if you're busy, if you're doing something, the owl will not start talking to you. So actually just targeting the sign outside Kakariko is enough for the owl to not think that you're, available to talk to. So it just won't talk to you, and you can just walk past its text trigger, and you don't have to talk to it, which is helpful because we needed to get into Market Town, and if we don't make it there before it turns night, then the gate closes. So that would be a problem. We'd have to wait until daytime. The other thing that went on there was that we went into. He approached the gate walking backwards, which, if you don't know, walking backwards is one of the fastest non-glitched movement options in the game. So first of all, it's fast, but also the way that the gate works for Market Town is it won't go up. It will stay in the current state until you look at it. It's like Schrodinger's gate, kind of. So by looking away from it, oh my gosh, what a mad lad. we're going to explain about the guards too in a minute. Oh my god, let's go, Corpser!
Let's go.
Beautiful guards.
Yeah, that was excellent. So if you're facing away from the gate and then you get onto it, obviously it will only update once you look at it. So that's why he kind of turned, and when the camera panned over, the gate started going up at that point and kind of like glitched up a little bit. That was going on there. Claire, do you want to talk about the guards and how he just got past all of them without him seeing?
Yeah, so you saw that Corpser definitely went right by some of those guards and they didn't catch him. The guard's vision is kind of weird. Sometimes you can walk like right in front of them and you would think that you would get caught, but you don't, because their vision kind of works in like separate bubbles. So that is part of the reason why he was able to get past the guards, even though sometimes it seemed like they were looking at him. But the other reason why, and Corpser actually did do it a couple times here, if you side hop frame perfectly, meaning that every single time that you land on the ground, you side hop that frame, the guards actually need 2 frames of you being on the ground to activate. Which means that as long as you can side hop frame perfectly, you technically never have to wait for the guards.
Right.
It is really not as easy as it may seem to do that, and it is the death of a lot of runs that go to Zelda. But Corpser got it first try, which is incredible. That's great.
Yeah, that was really good. It might seem like not a big deal too to get through those guards, right, and to wait on them, but you'd be surprised how much time your speedrun actually loses. First of all, to wait on a guard, you can lose 10, 15 seconds just like waiting on a couple of guards. And then if you get caught, even just the first guard, it's like a good 30 seconds or so of you have to get back into the hole, you have to start your side ops again. It's a really big time loss. So the fact that he was able to do that is really good news for his run.
Also, shoutouts to Beast because when I was trying to practice this, I didn't find like a good way to get the rhythm to side hop. And
oh my gosh.
I asked him to make a song that was in that BPM of like every single side hop, so it will stick in my hands. And he actually made it. It's like a really weird BPM to work with. It's like decimal or fractionary, but he still made it. And thanks to that is why you saw this this trick or this being possible. Also, I'm gonna do a cool jump here. I'm gonna try to learn to land behind Impa, so I don't have to watch the cutscene. It's called a mega side hop.
Wait, what?
What? Wait, what?
Yeah, here. What do you mean?
No,
This is not a mega side hop.
Are you trolling?
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, I see. I get it. It's funny.
Oh, okay. I was confused.
You died.
No.
Okay, for those who were like scared, that's actually what's supposed to happen. You can skip that cutscene by dying.
I wish you had told me you were going to do that bit before
Yeah,
you did.
No, I needed to be real, the real reaction.
Yeah, the real reaction of us saying, that's not what you're going to do. What are you doing?
Beast saying we're ruining the punchline. No, Beast, the way the jokes work is you need the funny person and the straight man, right?
Yeah.
So we were playing the straight.
We were the straight men, but we needed to be we needed to be the part of the we need to be in on the culprits.
That's right. We were the reaction too.
Yeah,
we had the wrong reaction because
I was fact checking that statement that I was
fact checking your statement so hard right there.
Okay, now we are in Temple of Time, but we don't have the stones of infinite, the infinity stones.
What?
Is that what they're?
No, that one.
Closer.
I could tell that one was a joke. Okay, Also, Corpse are going for maybe my favorite setup that has ever existed.
Pog?
Beautiful.
The
Yeah,
dot skip
side hook
setup where
again.
you target the pillar.
I love the
Yeah,
pillar
side hook
setup.
gang,
Pillar is
let's
OP.
go.
Okay, so what just happened there? Corpser, do you want to explain what? Do you want to
Well,
explain yourself?
Corpser
Yeah.
beat all of the child dungeons very
Oh
quickly.
wait, I have to. Okay. Have you seen like that meme that speedrunners will literally take advantage of any single crack, space, or
Yes, yeah.
shortcut to do what they want? Well, that's what just we did. Apparently, that door of time, when it was placed by the devs, they left a tiny space.
Yeah, you can
that-
actually see it in the side of
yeah,
the door.
you can see to the other side of the door, and they left that. They let it ajar. So normally you cannot pass through that tiny gap, but with a certain setup to have like a correct position, a correct angle, and do an angled side hop, which looks like a backflip because it's like diagonally, we can be like pass through that tiny space so fast that the game is gonna clip us outside of the bounds of the game, and we have one frame to jump slash and get inbound again. So that trick that you just saw, it's frame perfect. Like I could fail it and fall to the void of the game, or I could do it too fast and land to the other side of the door, which is not that bad, but it still loses time.
Yeah, that falling into the void is another pretty bad way of failing a trick. You can lose a lot of time for that. First of all, you fall for a long time, right? Link screams and he falls for
It's tragic.
several seconds, and then it puts you
gets
back at the
scared.
start of the temple. Yeah, well, he's okay. So I don't know if anybody else is like me, but when I play this game, Link never screams if I have a shield, if I can help it. You flick your shield and Link stops screaming, so I just cut that off nip that right in the bud. But yeah, he falls for a while, screaming or not, and that wastes a lot of time. Also, I want to go back to the mega flip past past Impa. That was not a mistake by Corpser. That was a joke, and I'm further ruining it by explaining it.
Yeah, I like that you're explaining it after he already explained it.
Yeah.
I think we just keep getting with this. We're not gonna let this joke die.
No. This will be we'll be mega side hopping for all of our death warping.
So we've gotten this far. I'm honestly surprised how far we've gotten through watching cutscenes
Yo.
without having really anything to say. But if there are donations, right now might be a good time because we still have like a couple minutes.
Sure thing. We just started a new run, so I'll do a reminder that Rejects and Friends is a 2-day speedrunning marathon benefiting the Planned Parenthood Federation of America. From providing sexual welfare to safe abortions to birth control, Planned Parenthood states that your health is our highest priority, and we believe that your body is your own. You can donate to the cause by typing !donate in chat, and I would like to put an update for the Save or Kill Professor Horwell's Remlet poll in Skyward Sword. To kill the animals is 107 and save the animals is 118.22. So it's very, very close.
Let's go. Let's see what happens in that run. I'm expecting. I'm pausing very hard.
You're pausing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Also-
so we do like the lore here a lot, right?
Yeah, let's go, Lore.
All Japanese readers know
ye-
exactly what's going on.
We know what they're saying for sure.
Sheik is saying, "I refuse to move from this
Sheik is
spot."
saying ZFG smug is what.
Yeah. Sheik is very disappointed in you, as you can probably tell from their arms being crossed and giving you a dirty look. So, Corpser, as you guys noticed when he went into the Temple of Time, he did that little clip, right, to get past the door. So right now he actually has to save and quit and start the game again because the door is still closed, which means he cannot get back through it from the other side. There are setups to get past it, I believe, as child. I don't know if there's a setup to get past it as adult, at least not one that's convenient for our current item loadout and
And the state that we're in right now, there's no way to get past the door
mean,
without saving and quitting.
There's a way where you can clip and void like 3 times. Or well, if you have low health, you can.
Oh,
clip
that's
and
true.
void
Yeah,
die.
that's true. Yeah, you could
That's like
die.
that was one of the workarounds when we were trying to route a category that didn't allow us to save warp or reset the console. So we tried that. It didn't work because Link was really tiny.
Yeah, and a funny thing about this is most walls in this game are only solid on one side, but the Door of Time is solid on both sides.
Well, they had to make up for the fact that there was a hole in it, so they decided to go the route of making it more robust in other ways.
Right. They wanted to make it to where you could get past the Door of Time, but you're stuck for forever.
Right.
It was definitely intentional by the developers.
Yes.
Anyways,
all of this is intentional.
Yeah.
We are
Everything is
actually
equal.
following the intended route right now because she told us to go to Kakariko, and here we are going to Kakariko to get the hook shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go. Hookshot is one of the items we're gonna need from Source, not because we need it for to beat Ganondorf, but it's gonna be very needed and very appreciated to make a couple of glitches and to move in general. I was kind of nervous in that part.
All right, chat. Let's get some predictions going. How long is it going to take Corpser to get the hook shot here?
Yeah, so
I would say 35.
hook shot is definitely not necessary in this run, like Corpser said. But it makes everything so much nicer, and it makes a lot of stuff faster, that it's worth it to take the time to go out of your way to get it. I know it's like a required item by the story. I'm sure we're still holding on to what the story wants us to do right now. But it's definitely a detour to get it.
True.
It's not completely necessary, but it makes up for it with how much time it saves.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so it looks like strangely Camber and Beast were correct with 2 different guesses of 47 and 69. That's incredible.
Yo, let's go. They did it.
So, on the other side of this door is the windmill, and blocking the windmill is a Song of Time block. It is really slow to go that way. You can actually clip through the Song of Time block because this is Ocarina of Time. But it's much faster for Corpser's purposes to just void out there. So the way the doors work in Dampé's Grave is if you get caught on the wrong side of them, it voids you. So Corpser did a little sneaky movement there to get back on the other side of the door after it started closing, so it would void him back to Dampé's Grave. And now we're doing another glitch called a hookshot jump. And basically what Corpser's going to try to do is he's going to do a setup to put Link in like this weird state where he can't really like do anything, and then when he hook shots on the right frame, the game will just send him up, and then from there we're up on this like seam on the outside of the graveyard. And now Corpser is going to go all the way around the graveyard to try to get into Shadow Temple early. He's using ISG, or Infinite Sword Glitch, to stay on the seam without being able to fall off. It just makes... ISG is not necessary for this, technically, but it makes it so much easier since you can't really, like, fail by falling off, but...
When I almost did that without ISG, it was so close. It's not necessary, but like...
Corpser, do glitchless unrestricted strats. You won't.
Oh no. I don't have bombs.
However, another caveat of using ISG on top of that seam is what just happened to the Corpser, which was he got stuck and Link was no longer on the ground, so he was just kind of floating in the air which made it to where he couldn't really like move anymore. He tried to jump back onto the scene, but it's kind of hard to get back on the scene when you already fall off.
Yeah, there are a couple of turns on this seam that are really sticky, kind of. It's
Yeah.
It's,
So while you might think it's like brain dead to get to the other side with ISG, it actually is a little difficult to do, and sometimes you're just gonna fail.
yeah.
I'm gonna take it a little bit more safer here.
However, if you know how this game works, you know that Shadow Temple is blocked by a door that you need to light a bunch of torches to open. We don't have any way to do that. So what Corpser's going to do is he's going to go to this top right here, and he's going to side hop off over the loading zone, and that's going to allow him to get into Shadow Temple without actually loading the door.
Right.
And here we are.
Let's get a feels ads, man.
Yeah, feels ads, man. We always said that. Well, I said it one time. Apparently, that resonated with a lot of people. But these little text boxes here look like pop-up ads.
Yeah, they are. That's 100%.
In websites, you know, when you're trying
I've
to
never
scroll.
thought of it like that before, but
Yeah.
that is true.
It's like pop-up ads. Like, do you want this? Do you want to buy this? Do you want to be a millionaire?
So, hover boots are another thing in this game that are not really strictly necessary to get, but believe me, hover boots allow for a lot of insane skips in this run. And also, we have to beat Shadow Temple anyways, so getting hover boots is just like extremely convenient for us. And then from here, Corpser's actually not going to do the rest of Shadow Temple. We're just going to go straight to the boss room. So Saul, if you want to explain this setup,
Yeah, sure.
that'd be cool.
So, right now, what he's going to do is a mega flip, where you shield an explosion on a certain frame, and that speed that you get from the explosion stays with you. And then if you backflip, then you get sent backwards like really quickly. By getting into a precise position, you can actually get so fast that the corner behind Corpser right now to his like the back left of the room, you're actually able to clip through that corner because you're going so fast. And then with some precise inputs, we can predict where we're going to land. We'll land in an unloaded room. Everything's going to be just gone. Like it'll look similar to the bottom of the well when we got through the bottom of the well. And after he gets into that unloaded space, he's going to navigate with the hover boots to the boss door. You won't be able to see it. But trust me, it is there. It's not loaded, so here we go. But all the collision is still there. So he's going over a couple platforms. And right now he is on the platform in front of the boss door. He is going to do a setup again to get into a specific position relative to the boss door where he's going to let this chew go and do some movement to get Link to fall and try to grab the ledge right next to the boss door. And by doing this on exactly the right frame, the bomb will actually blow you up, and it will send you underneath the door. Because again, you're keeping the speed from the chew, and it will push you through the bottom of the door, and you'll touch the load plane for the boss room. So perfect. That was first try. That was excellent.
First try. That was great.
Let's go. That like failing that, like the trick in the unloaded room, it can be really, really bad because you can void out and have to repeat everything again. So it's very nice when it is first try.
I also feel like it's important to say just how hard the movement in an unloaded room can be, especially if you mess up. Because Corpser did a very specific setup to... Corpser did a very specific setup to not to like basically get in exactly the position he wanted. If he had messed up any part of that setup, navigating that unloaded room is basically impossible.
Yeah, you're totally blind basically. So it's really difficult. I also want to mention that the thing that like you'd think the way that the game normally works is you void out somewhere and then you're sent back to the room, right, that you walked into. But the reason that this could be really damning for your run is that if you void out in that unloaded room, you clip through there in a way that the game doesn't recognize that you walked into the room. That's why everything's unloaded. So if you void out or you die in that place, which is really easy because you're taking damage from the chew, you fall, you take a full heart of damage. You only have 3 hearts here. So if you die or you void out, you get sent back all the way to the dead hand room where you picked up the hovers, which means, like Corpser said, you have to do the clip all over again. You have to do the unloaded movement all over again. You have to do the clip underneath the boss door all over again. It's basically a run killer if you don't get that.
That trick is very, very difficult, even if it may not seem like it if you've done this a lot of times. I think it's important to say just how difficult and how many moving parts there are in that trick. I think that it was really impressive that Corpser did it first try.
Yeah, I agree.
Also, why did you shield? I was explaining that trick, and you just like shielded to not do ISG bongo. I didn't really understand that.
Yeah, I just wanted to showcase like ISG is like the easy strat for one cycling bongo bongo, but there is a way like to one cycle bongo bongo you have to hit it in certain frame after he takes a hit, so he doesn't like wakes up. And I wanted to showcase that you don't need ISG to one cycle on him, you just need rhythm. So I was trying to showcase it to make the commentary that rhythm is actually the same rhythm as I Need a Hero from Shrek 2 or Skater Boy.
Yeah. Yeah, so
a fun
when you
fact I wanted to say.
that's actually really awesome that you did that. I'm really glad that you did that. Because in certain situations it's actually faster not to use ISG to kill enemies and bosses and just to do that rhythm strat. I think Ganondorf is one of them, right?
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So ISG, it's the way that ISG works is obviously that the sword is swinging every frame. So that allows you to basically kill most things very trivially. However, to get ISG, you usually need something to interrupt a crouch stab. So in this case, it would be talking to Navi. That wastes like a second or so. So technically, if Corpser had killed the whole boss without getting ISG, then it would have been faster, maybe. But in this case, since you already have ISG, it's usually better to just keep ISG.
Better to keep ISG.
Well, I think actually, don't you get a time bonus, right? You subtract 2 minutes for every swag point that you get,
Yeah,
right?
So maybe you do. I don't.
An extension mod that suggested that. And to allow I'm blue in blue.
Yes,
person.
I can't believe it. We've gotten rid of that. That's a real shame. No, Grego's right. Corpser's just showing off, basically, which is as he should, right?
I think I'm gonna reset.
Just reset here. I was about to say.
Yeah. I mean, I could not reset, but I kind of want to show Spirit Hover.
I think having 3 chews for Spirit Hover would be better than.
Yeah. The time save from Spirit Hover is like greater than this. Bro, what? Okay, I'm gonna do the save strat. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, slashing chews is not always as easy as it may seem.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky.
Diagnosis skill issue.
It may have been a little bit of a skill issue, but I don't know if you knew this. You can
It's RNG.
Just you can hold forward and slash it. Like you
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
have to target.
Yeah. I just wanted to look cool. Okay, you can.
He just wanted to look cool in front of his friends.
Yeah, I'm a little.
Give the man a break.
Me.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I brought it up. Wait, Corpser, what are you doing right now? Why are you hurting yourself in the lava?
Walking on lava is pretty cool.
Yeah, he's lost right now. He doesn't
know what to do.
Yeah,
didn't know.
which is fair. This is a confusing game.
I think if I hookshot this, it might be faster, right? Sadly, yeah.
No.
See, yeah, I think if I come back, maybe the path is gonna be clearer.
Okay, so
we need a certain frame there.
So what Corpser is doing by getting hurt in the lava is he's trying to get low health on purpose because, spoiler, he's gonna intend to die like
Spoilers?
very soon.
In my restream.
He's intending to die while hookshotting that ladder on the same frame. And what happens, I will just let you guys see. I'll let it speak for itself.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to die in the game, obviously.
The trick is called corpse jump.
Yeah,
named after the Corpser, obviously.
Yeah, because you turn into a corpse and jump.
Yes. Right. Yep.
So.
Factual.
Yeah, we need a certain frame because we need to hookshot the ladder in the same exact frame that we die, which is tricky. Frankly.
Yeah, so when he hookshots that ladder and dies on the same frame, Link goes shooting upwards, and this is also the reason why he grabbed that fairy after Shadow Temple. It was not for safety, it was for a very specific reason, and this was that reason.
I mean, it's kind of
so now we are gonna get bombs very quickly, a lot faster than going the normal way, that's for sure.
Yeah, we literally jumped.
I don't know. Have you timed this? I don't buy it.
It was half a dungeon. It must be faster, right? I counted the frames in my head, okay?
So now that we have bombs, bombs are basically gonna replace bomb chews as like our glitch fuel. And having bombs instead of bomb chews is really nice because, especially in GSR where you're not allowed to use RVA, you can't get more chews. His amount of chews he has right now, it's why he reset all those times. It was because if he loses too many chews, that's really bad.
Yeah, for a trick coming up, he's going to do another hover later. And as you saw when he was on the seam, excellent jump, by the way. That was beautiful. As you saw when he was walking along the seam outside of Shadow, if you get stuck while you're hovering, you kind of just can't move. You can't turn, anything like that. So one of the ways to get around that is if you target something, then you're able to like pivot in the air. Obviously, outside of Shadow, he really didn't have anything to target to stop that. But when he hovers later, he's going to actually use one of the chews. And if you drop a chew and you target on the correct frame after dropping it, even when you're mid-air, you can target that chew, and then that will kind of like break you free. So during this hover, you're going to be like high up in the air, and you need chews, at least one, to target so that you can turn around, because you're going to... I won't spoil it too much, but you're not going to be hovering in the same direction the whole time.
Also, another thing to add about having bombs now is you're going to see that Corpser is a lot more liberal with his use of glitches using explosive, specifically movement glitches. So you saw him slide backwards there after rolling into that bomb. That trick is known as a hyperextended super slide, or a HES. And that is the fastest way to move in this game. Like, period.
I don't know. Are you counting typing and just using the entrance
Yeah,
table? Because
I'm talking specifically for GSR. He's going to be doing a lot more movement glitches and things to just in general move around the world faster now that he has a replenishable bomb resource.
Mhm. Oh, okay.
I
We're
thought we were
Skywalker.
killing the Skulltula.
Hundo brain.
Still have, to be honest.
So now we're going to go through Goron City and use the shortcut in Goron City to go to Lost Woods. We're going to be going to Lost Woods to go to Sacred Forest Meadow, but we're not going to do Forest Temple just yet. We just need one thing from Sacred Forest Meadow right now. Also, Corpser got magic there. Getting magic is one of the biggest requirements for GSR because you need magic to shoot the light arrows.
Almost died there.
It is one of the 3 things that is absolutely necessary to get in this run.
Right. Necessary not
No.
because it's impossible to continue without it, but necessary because the rules say so, because we say so.
It's necessary purely because
Beat
he has to
Ganon.
shoot a light arrow.
Right.
Yeah. Ganondorf, I mean.
So this trick he's doing now, where he interrupted picking up that bomb, is known as a ground jump. It basically puts you in this weird state where when you backflip or side hop, Link gets
Jump.
his backflip or side hop interrupted, and he just floats upwards a little bit. And the biggest reason to do that is because normally when Link backflips or side hops, he can't grab ledges. But if you do that trick, you can grab that ledge and skip the maze. And then from there, Corpser did another trick that was similar to the trick he did Zelda, where he skipped into Impa teaching him Zelda's lullaby to skip the Minuet of Forest cutscene. And then from there, he actually saved and didn't continue to go back to Temple of Time because we're not going to Forest Temple just yet. We're actually going to go to Spirit Temple first.
Yeah, there was a lot in that little section there going on. That was good.
That's OT in a nutshell. You get
The
a lot
OT
of
in a
tricks.
nutshell is everything that is happening. There's a lot of stuff that is
Going
happening
on.
in the background. And you kind of just have to know. So here, Corpser's going to do another Hess to get to Gerudo Valley as fast as possible. Typically, time of day doesn't really matter, but he probably wants to get there before daytime. It might be not possible anymore, but we'll see if he gets there. During nighttime, the guards at Gerudo Fortress can't see very well, so it's going to make completing Gerudo Fortress a lot easier, that's for sure.
Which we'll definitely be doing.
Yeah, I will.
Well, because how can you get through the gate without the Gerudo card,
Yeah,
right?
you
Right,
need-
there's a gate that you need the Gerudo card
yeah,
to get through, and the gate is definitely something that is a impenetrable obstacle, even with all
Oh
these
my God,
glitches
yeah.
that we know. It's the
Yeah.
one thing that keeps us from just going hog wild.
That's right, yeah. Corpser, you want to explain this a little bit?
Yeah, this is actually a mega side hub.
So we're not going to skip a cutscene with this.
No, we're not gonna die here. But if you get a mega side hub, that speed, we try to get it from above the little bridge in the chat, please. And with that speed, we're gonna equip hover boots, and that's gonna take us to the other side. Barely.
Yeah, it might not. You might not have been able to see it because he was moving backwards and you couldn't really see his feet. But you actually land on the front half of the bridge there, and then when you equip the hover boots before you land, it keeps your height and your speed there.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that having hover boots is really nice for. Hover boots and you equip them in the air moving at high speeds, or just moving at high speeds in general, it tends to allow for a lot of sequence breaks. And now, Corpser, I'm not really sure how you got past that gate. The one thing in all of the game that should be impossible to get through, and also fuck that sign.
Yeah, that sign, not the best sign. Actually, the worst sign, I would say.
That sign is a known abuser, and it just has a really bad attitude all the time too. On top of that,
it's
and just like in general.
Yeah. Yep.
So now we're going to go through the Haunted Wasteland, but if you remember, I said earlier, we didn't get Lens of Truth from Bottom of the Well. So this first part is pretty easy because you're just supposed to follow the poles, but Corpser actually took the time to memorize all of the Haunted Wasteland to go through all of it without the Lens of Truth, saving all that time it would have taken to get it.
I memorized it so well that I can do it without looking. Trust me, I'm not looking at the game right now.
I can tell. I'm with him right now.
Checking Twitter right now. I know that you have to be careful to not target those levers because my angle will be screwed and I wouldn't be able to get here without looking. You know, I will have to open my eyes, but yeah.
And here we are.
Part of me was just really hoping that when you said that you weren't looking, that you just like voided out immediately.
I knew I was.
I was really worried it was gonna happen. I was the one who jinxed it, and I was hoping that if I was the one that did it, maybe Corpser wouldn't have a problem, and I was right. He didn't.
All right, so as promised, I told Corpser when I saw him practicing the other day, there's a strat. Like he mentioned while going through the wasteland that targeting the levers is a real pain in the butt because if you want to backwalk and you target something, Link does this really slow like turnaround animation, and you end up like getting a weird angle that you don't want. There's a way to do that here where if you nice bomb drop. If you go into first person camera and then cancel it really quickly, you won't target the levers after you turn around there. Corpser decides that he doesn't want to do that because he's just not that kind of guy. And the result is that really clean, fast looking rolling through this area.
Yeah, so now, Salt was talking about this a little bit earlier. Corpser is not going to go into Spirit Temple the normal way. Because why would you do anything the normal way in a speed run? So instead, he's going to start a hover, which is the same thing that we were doing on the bubble at the beginning of the run, but this hover is going to be a lot higher, and it's going to make use of the rest of our bomb shoes as well as plenty of bombs. And the point of this is to get the mirror shield without having to do the first part of Spirit Temple. So we'll see if he gets it. Maybe like a couple more hovers. You have to hover up to jump on a very specific seam on the outside of Spirit Temple, and then from there you hook shot up to the Silver Gauntlets chest, and then from there you have to do a super slide with hover boots on to reach the other hand to get to the mirror shield. So he's gotten the first part, and now he's hookshotting the Silver Gauntlets chest, and now he has to do a super slide, and he's actually going to enter the dungeon here real quick, just because if he dies or falls down, now he has already set his spawn point to be up here, so it's not nearly as big of an issue if he fails this super slide.
Yeah, if you fail this without walking in, then you'll just spawn
at the beginning,
at the bottom again, and that's
and he actually got all of it first try.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. Clap. It's like this is a run killer, and it's something that it's really hard to get consistent. But actually, I want to take the time to shout out Grego, the greatest, because he did a really good document on those hovers, and I think that helped me to get more consistent. So shout out to Grego.
All right, and now we're going to do We still have to do some of Spirit because we still have to get to the boss room. But we're going to be doing a lot of it in reverse, which allows for a lot of sequence breaks, as well as he's going to need to refill his bombs because he only has 3 left. Luckily, there's some Armos here in this next room, and they have a 50% chance of dropping bombs. So let's hope he gets bombs from there. If he doesn't get bombs from there, it's really not that big of a deal because there's another bomb pot. But we still would like to see some bomb drops here.
You can also
He
walk
got
in
one,
and out of this room, and just keep doing this on the Armos. Although it's a time loss, but you can always continue if you just continue to walk in and out and get some bombs.
Yeah, so he got 1 bomb drop. He's gonna want pretty much full bombs because from here on there aren't going to be any bomb drops.
Yeah.
So filling up his bombs here would be very nice.
Yep. We want that.
And like Claire
We
said,
don't
there's also a bomb pot coming up, and of course, because everything in this game is broken and glitched, one of the ways that you can continue to refill your bombs is if you hook shot the bomb pot or break it and then leave and come back in before collecting the bomb, then the pot comes back and the bombs don't disappear. So you can do that as many times as you can until the bombs despawn.
Yeah, you cooled the BMOS.
What? I cooled it. I
Yeah.
didn't know.
If you turn away from that BMOS too fast, the game will actually unload it before the bomb blows it up. So you have to do that again. So here's this thing that Salt was just talking about, where if you don't pick up the bomb drop, you can just keep getting the bomb drop.
Yeah.
And
Also,
so
be careful with the
Corpser
second
has
explosion.
full bombs
You have to
now.
be careful there.
Yeah, you don't want to get hit. Health doesn't matter as much in this category because we don't allow for cutscene skips.
Oh.
But, yeah, so from here, Corpser is actually going to climb up the Spirit Temple statue. He got ISG there to make sure he didn't fall off. And then from here, he's going to do a precise setup to get close to that corner at the head. And then from here, he's going to equip hover boots, and he's going to do a setup to clip out of bounds.
Mad lad. He just did. This is all. If you don't do that side hop within 2 frames, then you're falling off the statue. Also,
Yes.
that. Oh my god! I can't believe that you just did that all unbuffered. That was insane.
Yeah, and then from there, you can just roll with hover boots on and get into the boss room. So once again, great job by Corpser to get that. That is definitely something that is not easy to do first try, especially in a marathon. And
Yeah.
he's pretty much hit all the tricks first try.
Yeah, he's killing this run right now. This is really
Except blowing up the freaking wall.
Yeah, the wall, the wall was the
Well,
real.
that's the
hardest
thing
trick in
you
the run.
don't practice, you know.
good. Yeah.
That's literally the only thing you don't.
It's hard to see. A lot of the things in this run are kind of hard to see from the perspective of first-person cam and Link and stuff. So what he did with the backflips with the hover boots was actually he went out of bounds and rolled in the air with the hover boots, and then touched the load zone for this room, like from out of bounds.
And there, he killed Naburu and also clipped out of bounds before Naburu actually died. So that way he could void and skip the cutscene of Naburu dying, which saves actually quite a bit of time. That cutscene's very long.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. I was nervous because Iron Knuckles can kill you with 1 hit.
Yeah.
Even if you have a fairy, it doesn't matter because they don't care about iframes. So even if you revive, the hitbox is still active and you are gonna die twice. Like
Yeah.
if you get 4 fairies and die to an uncle, probably you're gonna revive 4 times. I don't know if someone has tried it, but in theory that should happen. So yeah, that dying there is not very nice, especially after Spirit Hover, because we need to do Spirit Interior, because dying there takes you to the beginning of the temple, even
Yeah.
if we enter it from above. I was kind of nervous, but we made it.
Yeah, and the thing about dying to Naburu is it's extra bad because if you die in the boss room, it'll put you at the beginning of the dungeon, not his spawn point from the hand. So he would still have to do all of Spirit Temple.
Right. Yeah, that's another spot where runners on good pace that don't necessarily need the greatest times might opt to not skip that cutscene because it makes fighting the knuckle harder, and dying to that knuckle or dying because you weren't paying attention to your life and you voided out, you lose a ton of time. It's a run killer.
This is whole RNG, and that position that they gave me was not the best. This one isn't either. Because yeah, she went behind my back. She's really bad.
For a while, obviously this boss is still completely RNG. But for a while, we didn't really know how it worked. But fairly recently, thanks to Decomp and I think Fig released a video on it about how it works. We have kind of a good idea of how the boss works and when they're going to shoot. When one of them goes over a square platform, they basically load a shot, right? They're going to shoot. And the only reason that they wouldn't is if the other sister goes over a platform and interrupts them. So, where before we were kind of in the dark about when they were going to shoot, you can kind of predict who's going to shoot by just paying attention to which sister goes over a platform, and then that'll be the next one to shoot, usually.
Corpser, what's your visual cue for this?
I just hear the moan. There is a visual cue. I thought it was Claire, the one that said it, but she fact-checked me on that, and I won't say that it was Claire, but I think she was the one that said it. But
I think it was Flo.
It was Flo. It was not me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never once said that.
Fun fact, that witch there is like the only thing in the game that has like jiggly physics.
Whoa.
I will not say which part of the witch has jiggly physics, but if you like the damage cycle ends when the jiggly physics are not stopped, so if you see when it stops jiggling, you can cycle it without problem. I didn't find that out. I heard it.
And he blames me for being the one to tell him that when I did not tell him.
To be honest, it wouldn't be crazy if you said it. Am I right, Sal? I think that's something she will say.
No comment.
Okay, I wanted to tell like a funny story, but when I was a kid playing this game, in the cutscene that Twin Rova like becomes one Rova, singular Rova, when the cutscene starts, she winks at you, right? When I was a kid, a little naive kid, I didn't understand what that wink meant. I saw it as if Twin Rova in the form of one was, literally the two witches side by side. Like one side of the witch was, I don't know, Koume, and the other one Kotake. So when she blinked, I thought she was like one of the witches was just closing her eyes. I mean,
Corpser.
I thought it was
You sweet summer child.
What?
I said, you sweet summer child.
Oh yeah. I thought it was explaining that it was actually the two witches and like a chameleon, a chameleon.
No, she's the real story is she's winking at you because she wants you to check out her jiggle physics.
She wanted
I don't know
you to use
about
it
that
as a visual cue. She gave you the visual cue.
She gave you the.
Okay, so now all we have to do left is get the bow, which means we have to go to forest. This is why Corpser got Minuet of Forest earlier instead of just going to forest naturally later, was because this area is so far out of the way that getting to the forest pretty much any other way is going to take a really long time. But luckily, since we have Minuet, we can just go straight to Forest Temple. And now Forest Temple, we don't need to beat Forest Temple, all we need is the bow. So Corpser is going to go get the bow as fast as possible. The way he's going to do that...
That's faster than killing it? Don't at me.
That's not faster than killing it.
Boss bow. I mean bow boss.
So he's going to go basically straight to the bow room. First of all, usually you would need to have at least a strength upgrade to move some blocks and a puzzle later on. Corpser's not even going to do the puzzle. He doesn't really like doing puzzles. He doesn't really like doing puzzles. He's playing Zelda. He hates puzzles. I don't really get it, but he's also trying to say hi to the bubble there, and the bubble didn't really want to say hi back. So here, obviously, I mean, he's here to get the first key, right? This is one of the keys that you need, but he also missed one in the first room.
Oh no.
I wasn't going to mention anything. I wasn't going to mention anything, but yeah, you did miss one of the keys.
Well, I want to grab the first key.
Yeah, we might as well grab this one right now.
Shouldn't.
Then we can just go back for the other one later.
Yeah.
That's probably a good plan. That seems...
Also, Corpser tried to get another fairy there, but instead decided to heal himself.
Yeah, healing is nice.
So we can just try this again. First, he's going to damage back down to half a heart. Because healing here is like the worst thing you can do. We've been trying to set up our health to be low health for a while now.
Yep.
What he's doing right now, where he's pulling the ocarina, if you take damage, usually there's an invincibility window where you can't continue to take damage constantly.
Wait.
I was about to say, you need the fairy.
If you don't, if you interrupt that frame window of invincibility, then you can continue to take damage indefinitely. So pulling out the ocarina while the bomb is exploding, basically you can just continue to take damage every frame, which is probably one of the fastest ways to damage down.
Okay, so now Corpser is going to do a very precise setup and place bombs on the ground. Then he's going to backflip and crouch stab the door. This is going to recoil him into the bombs. A property about bombs is, you know, they push you in 3D space. And if you stack them on top of each other, they'll actually push you more than if it was just one of them. He used that to open the door in a way that doesn't allow the door to open and also puts him out of bounds. And from here, he's going to do yet another precise setup.
I was kind of confused about where I put hookshot on. I didn't want to mess my, muscle memory.
So this is going to be another...
it is very similar to the trick in Dodongo's Cavern. He uses that bomb to hookshot up to the second room. He actually needed to kill the other Stalfos first, or else the Stalfos wouldn't spawn. And also, when you enter this room, the Stalfos don't spawn unless you enter this room from a Y position that's high enough that the game assumes you're in this part of the room and not the other part of the room. So he's actually going to void out here to reload the room. And then from here, the Stalfos fight will actually start.
He's kind of a coward. He's floating.
Yeah, he's
cheating.
a coward. I hate that guy so much. He always does that.
He's got ISG right now.
Yeah, so here we're just gonna fight a couple more Stalfos. No big deal. We've already fought now a total of 5. Surely we won't have to fight any more after this, right?
Well, kind of.
Kind
You
of.
said no big deal, but people have died here, and it's super tragic because you have to.
Yeah,
go
I've died
there
here
again.
multiple times.
Yeah.
Me too. Like, I think no one can laugh about it because we all have done it at least once.
No, that's why we can
Oh.
laugh about it. Okay, so now we
Right.
got the bow. Now we're all set. And since we have Shadow and Spirit Medallion, the next time that Corpser goes to the Temple of Time, it's going to start the Light Arrows cutscene. The Light Arrows are the final thing we need to satisfy the requirements for this category. And then from there, all we have to do is go beat Ganon and Ganondorf and win the game.
Not in that order necessary.
You can beat them in whatever order you like. It's open world.
Kinda, yeah. OT is so broken that it's kind of an
There
open
is
world.
It
technically
is.
a category where you beat Ganon before Ganondorf.
Wait, really?
Yeah, reverse boss order.
Oh, true.
It is.
That
It is
we
possible
actually-
too now. Like recently, it became
Wait.
possible.
That's not the same as reverse dungeon order, right?
No,
Well,
it's different.
currently, Reverse Dungeon Order can't do, doesn't do Ganon first, because of rule restrictions in vanilla. But recently, it's been made possible on Master Quest.
Oh,
I won't get into the details, but
oh.
it is RTA viable, Grego. Yeah, and
He was
you can-
waiting the time to say. This is MQ propaganda. Don't hear him.
This is what you get when you get 2 MQ runners on your comms, Corpser. You've
to
done
be
this to
honest,
yourself.
MQ had a really big boost in terms of rules. They allowed something really that wasn't allowed in vanilla, and has led to really, really, really weird speedrun shenanigans. That weird, but also cool in some sort of way. And I think it's cool that it's in Master Quest because it was, not very run by a lot of people, not very active lately. Not that it's not an active game, but like lately it wasn't very touched. And I think it's very nice because it led up like a cool route that people can try it. It's kind of hard.
Yeah, I think it's cool that Master Quest has allowed stuff that vanilla doesn't, because it kind of makes it. The games are very similar to begin with, and the idea behind a lot of the categories on the board in Master Quest is to do stuff that's different than vanilla. So having
Different
less
rules.
restrictions and a more lax rule set kind of gives a place for a lot of stuff that can't exist in vanilla OOT.
Wait, I don't remember this.
Yeah, so
Spoilers.
Light Arrows cutscene
Oh
is
my
really
God.
long, and I think now might be a good time to say some donations or announcements if you
Mhm,
guys have
mhm.
any. So instead of this, obviously very riveting and relevant discussion about Master Quest, if you have anything like that, please do so.
We do indeed. We have $5 from Abby Nees, blown away by all the tricks Corpser has been pulling off. It's amazing to
Cor?
watch, and good luck, Corpser, on the rest of the run.
Oh, thank you, Ivy. Or Avi. I'm sorry for my mispronunciations sometimes.
I'd also like to take this chance to say that there are lots of incentives to donate towards throughout the marathon. You can find a list of them using !incentives in chat. The top donor will be entitled to personalized EP arrangements in the style of the break screens of the tracks at your request. You can donate to the cause by typing !donate in chat. The links will be open through the final Skyward Sword run about 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, July 24th. And I will say that we have one for the Breath of the Wild run that's Kill Unobo that has no donation so far, and I'd really like to see that. So, sending you love for
Yo,
that. I'd love to see that. BMAT.
kind of happy right now, but we need to see how it ends up being. So okay,
We
we
got-
get like the biggest spoiler in anime. I mean,
In
in game history, in anime history. Now in
You heard it here
game
first.
history.
Zelda is anime.
Yes, Sheik was Zelda all this time.
Corpser, stop.
Did you guys knew it when you first played it? I mean, Salt obviously because he played this game like 1 year ago. But
Wait, is that
but
true?
what about?
I've
Yeah,
never done this
You
casually.
didn't play this game as a kid?
I never played this game as a kid. No, I didn't.
I did not know that. That's
yeah.
hilarious.
What? You didn't know that?
Wait, so you've never played this game casually then? Ever?
No, never.
Dang. A true, pure speedrunner.
What am I missing?
Rare.
Nothing, right?
Rare right there. You would think that you're like one of the Zoomers.
Yeah. You'd think.
The biggest zoomer, actually.
All right, so now Zelda has been captured by aliens who have placed her in this big rupee, and she's going to be taken to the mothership. Or so I assume. I don't know. I don't know this game, so that's...
I have never read the English text, right?
Oh yeah, you probably never even read the.
No, I don't.
English
There's text boxes. I still don't know what they actually say.
Oh no. I'm shook. I didn't know that. I always assumed that people have just played this game.
No.
Yeah,
no.
I mean, it's not like it's really necessary in this day and age to play it, but you know, it's whatever. It's interesting. All right, so despite the fact that we have not beaten any dungeons except for Shadow and Spirit, I'll go ahead and let Salt know a little bit of the lore here. Rauru is going to tell us that since we've beaten every dungeon, all the sages can come together and make a rainbow bridge for us to get to Ganon's castle. But he's lying, because we've only saved 2.
Rauru just has not all the information, but he's trying his best.
So there's
It
your
was-
bit of lore, Salt, right there.
It was misinformation. Also, Rauro said CFG smug, so maybe he's gonna. being
I mean, I guess it could be
sarcastic.
lying.
Isn't Rauru also the owl, right? Rauru is...
Somebody said that to me the other day, and I was like,
Yeah,
but
there's
they
a
acted
gossip-
like it was like some like secret, and I was like, no way, you're joking.
So basically, Raru's brain is actually an owl's brain, which is why he was confused about the dungeons that we've completed.
He's confused because Corpser would never wake him up. Corpser never
True.
even talked to him.
True.
Pog?
All right, so instead of doing the trials, I kind of forgot to start mentioning this earlier, but usually to get into this last part of the game, you have to beat the 6 trials on the outside of Ganon's castle. However, that loading zone to like the tower collapse part exists in this part too, and if you hover up high enough, you actually hit the loading zone to just go straight into Ganon's tower.
Not even
So
really
now-
that high. It's
Yeah,
it's pretty
he did
low.
2 hovers.
Yeah, 2
and-
hovers. Which
Oh
saves
boy,
obviously saves
skeleton.
a bunch of time.
Yet again.
Ah, come on.
Okay.
He didn't want to jump at me. Second time.
He was scared. You saw how quickly he beat his friend.
Also, yeah, those are the last Stalfos. So last time you can type Stalzone in the chat, I guess.
Yeah, and from here, I mean, the game's pretty straightforward from here on out.
Yeah,
Just
this
gonna
is kind of
Kill
vanilla
some
stuff
boys
now.
here, and
This is kind of a cool strat here. Like if you get into a precise position, you can activate both of the. Oh, excellent!
you're so bold to
Dude,
do that
that's
quick
so good.
spin. That quick spin is so scary.
I mean, you kind of have 2 tries. So if I failed it the first time, I would react immediately and go away.
And so here we're gonna do one final Hess to go up the stairs to get to Ganondorf. And then, yeah, from here on out, we're gonna do what the category was laid out to do. Fight Ganondorf. The most riveting boss in the whole game.
Let's go. Actually, we are kind of ahead of estimate, like by a lot. I wasn't expecting to get everything. Like, there are some RNG parts. For example, in Jungle Jump, the trick that we in Forest Temple did or made to get to the bow. There's a little RNG part when you walk forward. You can get a crit wiggle and be mispositioned. And those crit wiggles are like frequent. Like it's like every 10 seconds, I think. So there were like RNG parts, and we are gonna have another RNG part that could lose us like a lot of time. So that's why the estimate is not super tight compared to my PV, because yeah, there are things that we cannot control and we'll lose a lot of time. And this game likes to make us lose a lot of time, but the execution has been pretty nice.
Yeah, overall this run has been pretty good. We've gotten to show off like all the main glitches in the category and all the cool stuff that you can do.
Oh, did I hear cool stuff?
I think there's cool stuff in this category. I never said there wasn't.
No
Check
comment.
this out.
Oh, this is an interesting strat.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, so usually it would waste time to get ISG on Ganondorf. It does also waste time to fall down all the way to the bottom.
That was funny. That normally he will shoot, but I guess when I side hop, like
Yeah, you side hopped and it
very close
made
to
it
the
where
ledge.
you were.
Yeah,
He,
yeah.
he will
Top of
shoot
him.
if you're on the edge of the platform, but not if you're not on the edge of the platform.
It's
So now Corpser's just gonna have to die. He didn't have to die, but getting that quick spin can be kind of tricky.
yeah.
So now he's just gonna have to climb the. Yeah, just save.
Yeah, it's not. It's not that
Corpser,
bad,
you've
actually.
jinxed yourself by saying
Anyways.
that
Saying
you
cool
were
stuff?
well
No,
underestimated.
it was because of not knowing. Because I one time got that side hop, but I guess I was like really close to the edge. So if I knew that side hop was bad, I was like suspecting it when he wasn't shooting, but I was like, nah, he's just because it's RNG when he shoots. So I was like, no, he's probably taking his time, you know. But when I saw him about to take me down, I was like, oh, maybe it wasn't how I was thinking. So yeah, that's something that I didn't know.
We were just padding the estimate a little bit. You did it on purpose.
Yeah, it was like to not.
We're
let
trying to stay on
people-
schedule here.
Yeah. We don't want people. rushing.
Don't do the Hess here.
Okay. I
Your
won't.
bombs are perfect right now.
Oh, Monka.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You need
Ren
exactly 5 left.
Run is giving us a D colon saying it sends you to the bottom. Mean game. This kind of one thing that we weren't able to show off because Corpser is a G and got everything first try is just how punishing this game can be if you mess something up. And this is a good indication. We were in here 2.5 minutes ago. And we mess up one thing and we lose 2.5 minutes because the game just says, sorry, you messed up. You're going to go back to the start now and have to do everything all over again. This is kind of OOT running in a nutshell. Is you mess up one thing, you buffer a frame too far, you get a crit wiggle that's not your fault, and the game just says, nah, sorry, that's the end of your run now. You just lost 5 minutes.
Also, it should be said that after the Stalfos in Ganon's Tower, everything in this game will kill you in one hit.
Yep.
And
Also-
so now we just did the regular ISG strat to kill Ganondorf.
Yeah, I if I got the bongo, maybe I will try the the one cycle cannon.
I'm glad you didn't try it.
But also cool Easter egg. You can turn. You can use the bottle to reflect the light balls.
That's true
From
in every
Ganondorf.
Zelda game, actually.
Yeah, you can use weird things too.
And you can use like the bug net in Link to the Past.
Another
It's pretty cool.
cool thing about that, so the bottle thing is not actually just something that we've figured out that the devs didn't intend. It seems, based on decomp and reading the code, or so I've been told, that was actually a developer intended thing, that you would be able to reflect the light ball with the.
It's so intended that when it has less chance, like they gave you the opportunity to use the bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They-
the bottle
they
is,
give
is
you-
probably the best thing in the game to reflect the
The
light
bottle
ball with.
is actually the easiest thing to
Yeah.
reflect
Yep.
it back
Yeah.
with.
The frame
But
window
also
is huge.
It can make you lose time if you are like from away, but we position in a very smart way, so like no matter how bad RNG we have, we always are gonna hit Ganondorf.
So, here, we're gonna do one more trick in the run. It's not over even at the very end of the game. Normally, to get down to the bottom and fight Ganon, you have to traverse all the way down the collapsing tower. However, Corpser just did a trick where he voided and hit a loading zone on the same frame. And that causes some weird shenanigans where it loaded this room, but it loaded him at his position from the cutscene.
Right.
So from there, all he has to do is jump / down the tower to the very end. And now he's going to go fight Ganon a lot faster than if he had actually... What are you doing?
He was trying to
is
do
he
the
doing?
single bomb super slide. Oh my god.
You were just like
Oh my
standing
God.
there.
Oh my god.
But he didn't like.
You just
Yeah,
go.
okay.
You just have to go.
The thing is, oh no.
Oh no.
The thing is, Redeads like work in a way that walking will trigger them. So if you like walk, it's like very bad. So it was like trying him to go away by not moving.
Don't do the super slide down at the bottom now.
I got kind of nervous because you said don't, and I was like, what? Don't what?
Yeah, just don't do the super slide.
Yeah.
So now we just
Oh,
need to do it again. It's not a big deal. All we have to do is just try this trick again. It's pretty straightforward and simple. This time we're not going to stand in front of the Redud and let it grab us.
Look, there should have been an incentive for give the Redead a hug, because Redeads need
Wait,
love
it
too.
wasn't?
Yeah, I think Corpser was just under the impression that there was an incentive for that and that it got met, so no harm, no foul.
True.
Yeah, so this
Fact.
time we got past the Redud, no problem. Like Corpser said, if you're walking, you can trigger the Redud, but if you're rolling, you don't. It's kind of weird, but yeah, now all we have to do is fight Ganon, and once again, Ganon can kill us in one hit, so it is still possible for Corpser to die here.
Yep.
We've got
We're gonna try to not.
unskippable. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, we're gonna try to not die. It's
Yeah.
Especially because we don't have much bombs or many bombs. I mean.
I think this is
So-
a good time if you want to talk about some
RNG?
incentives or some donations, because we've got this unskippable cutscene, and then we've got another one where you're talking to Zelda for a minute.
Sure, we have a $2 donation from Allison and IL10. Corpser enjoyers here. Good luck. Shout out to mis canales colombianos y bolivianos.
Let's go! Let's go! Clap!
Mhm.
Clap! Thank you so much, Allison. I really appreciate it. Thank you
Okay,
for the good lucks.
so here we go. This is the last part of the game. Corpser is going to do one more trick, or at least try to keep the Master Sword. Normally in the first part of this cutscene, or the first part of this fight, you lose the Master Sword. So every single one of your items is reduced down to do a damage of 1. But if Corpser keeps the Master Sword actually is not changed. Like its damage values aren't changed in this fight. So if he can get the Super Slide, he will be able to do the first phase a lot faster than if he didn't do it. And of course he did do it because
Fuck.
Corpser is a professional.
Pog, let's go.
reason
That's gonna like you can get really nervous in that last trick because
Oh,
not
yeah.
getting the super slide can be really bad, and it can add like a lot of shenanigans to the fight, which you don't want to because you know you can get killed by one blow. So
Right. I want to mention that this part right here at the end of a good run is really monka. It's like stressful because the reason that you're able to keep your sword is when you super slide into this cutscene and you keep shield held. You can see Link's not like doing the normal animation. He's just holding his shield up. And you're literally in control of when you release the shield. So you can be on a good run here, and you have to just straight hold shield during this cutscene while Ganon sends your sword away.
Yeah.
And it I don't know, it feels like you have to press
I freaking white knuckle that R
You're
button.
like, don't let go of this target.
I will not let go of R.
If you do let go of shield, then he will hit your sword away. That's like the trick is over, which is not like a super big deal. You
per
can
PvE
kill
pace
him
runs,
other ways, but yeah, it's a big time. Like everything in this game is a big time loss.
it
But
was turning. Monka.
All right. And time will be when Corpser presses B on this last hit, and the cutscene starts. So it's coming up.
Also, I want to take a time after we hit. We are a little bit ahead of schedule, so
Okay, that's time, by the way.
yeah, that's time.
GG, good run.
Thank you so much.
So what were you
Yeah,
gonna
I
say?
think I jinxed it when I said like everything was first try. Kind of jinxed it a little bit, but yeah, it's expected to have some fails during a marathon, but like most of the run was like really nice.
Yeah, that was a really good run.
That was a very solid run.
Yeah, I liked it very much.
I want to mention too we started our timing on the first when we selected the file, but we actually just recently voted to remove the time of the opening cutscene. So this run says it's a 133, but very likely it is or it's 100%. It's probably a 131.
Yeah, something like close to 131.
We start timing now on the first frame of movement, not on the that's a new
Yeah.
thing that it was literally just implemented like maybe a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but for marathon shenanigans, I think it's more easy to like the people watching to start the timer at file selects and watching the intro.
No, I think
Probably.
that was the right choice. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So if this was a PV, probably we'll have to subtract those. Well, we don't have to, but the mods will do it.
Yeah,
Subtract
the
like
mods will do it.
2 minutes and 50 seconds, 50 something, depending on my mashing and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was the right call. And I don't know if we can, but I want to see it a little bit on the next cutscene before the next run finishes, because this was an incentive, right? And we're gonna have we can sit on this incentive for a while, and we are like ahead. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to see.
Yeah,
Arigato
that's what we
ZFG
wanted
smug.
to see. This is why people paid for it. Yeah. Okay, we are ready to help out when people want to.
Do you want to tell people where they can find you, Corpser?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You can find me in twitch.tv/thecorpser.
The Corpser.
Yeah, not to mix with Corpser. No, that one doesn't run as good. twitch.tv/dcorpser. Also, please find these awesome comms in
Yes.
awesome
Uh,
comms. Like, they did a really good job. They are not being paid, and
Wait, you're gonna pay
they
me?
had to come. Well, maybe we will talk about it. But they did an awesome job commenting on those long cutscenes that we had.
Yeah. So if you want to find me, my name is Clairlyn D, and all of my socials are literally Clairlyn D. So Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Big Salt. What would you like
Yeah.
to shout out?
Yeah,
I don't know if he wants
you
to.
can. No, that's fine. You can find me on Twitch as well, under Big Salt 2. I used to be Big Salt 64, but that is not
That's in the
not
past.
me anymore. That's
It was
I'm
a
a
cycle.
yeah. So come check us out. Corpser, thanks so much for having us on here. That was a lot of fun. And Claire,
Yes.
I had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. Everybody, make sure to donate to this charity. It's a good cause.
Okay, those are the comms in the chat, and yeah, it's a really, really nice cause and charity. Yeah, keep the incentives going, keep the donations going. We have a lot of Zelda speedrunning and other games speedrunning,
Yeah,
like
stick around.
Bioshock.
This is a good cause. This is good stuff right now.
Yeah, good stuff. So thank you so much for watching this run, and I hope you guys had fun watching it.